Hello, I'm Llytic, and I am recording this directly after the first episode. If you don't know what this is, well, one, title is in the description, but this is Seduce Me, the Otome, which, if you don't know, probably should have explained this in the first one. Otome can basically be described as a reverse harem, quote unquote. So, instead of one dude, bunch of girls, it's one girl, bunch of dudes. Although this one's hinting, although if I read the description right, it's more one girl, 8 dudes, and 3 girls that are also options for the one girl, if that part wasn't clear. Anyway, let's just get back into this. Okay, don't get me wrong, I'm an open person, but there were not many interested guys in the school to go out with. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanting to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafeteria started up and an announcement echoed through the cafeteria.
Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you.
Ah, fuck, it's gonna be the Mr. Smiths, isn't it? God damn it.
Oh my.
Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
Actually, it's black suit jackets and shades.
Zuzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious?
Fine. If something happens, just call us.
Alright. Funny enough, something did happen. Well, oh shit. And it was certainly no laughing matter. Cold. It was really cold. The rain had become heavier that afternoon, accompanied by rolling thunder now and then. Oh shit, that sounds great. Fuck, I might just let it sit here for a bit so I can listen to this shit. Yeah. The skies had turned dark, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. God damn it. Not that I was looking up. In fact, looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. Staring at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look up at the people weeping around me, all I could see was the damp grass underneath my... all I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Only the monotone eulogies that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. It was only when the speeches ended that I was finally able to raise my head. Okay, so that's why the black umbrella. I just thought, edge. Whoops. I'm an asshole. Ah, shit, Harold. Small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know were related to me, were huddled around a simple, small grave. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops and umbrellas. Even if it weren't raining, everything would probably be in a heavy silence. Yeah, that is funerals for you. I looked beside me where my father was standing and holding up a large black umbrella for our small family of 3. His face was motionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, etched into the smooth gray tombstone before us was his father's name. My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small, only close family were allowed to come. Slowly, though, people began to leave, leaving my mother, father, and me behind at the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform black umbrella of the funeral attendees walked towards us, introducing himself as grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud its contents.
And now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Couldn't we do this inside? Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
Well, looks like I won't have to deal with trying to find a house in this economy. Yeah, Lowe's humor. Wait, what? I couldn't believe my ears. I had earned the family estate. At 18. That was impossible, and yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand.
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
Dad?
Dear.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
Maybe.
It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Okay.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in. What a stubborn old man.
Do you have business experience with toy companies? Because otherwise it'd just be nepotism letting you in. Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on her face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Yay, I won't be homeless.
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
You don't have to say that so angrily.
Honey, what do you think?
I really wasn't sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
You don't need to be so angry, Dad.
David!
Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car, disinterested. Wow.
Don't
Dad's
mind
a
him,
dick.
honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now?
Okay. You can go ahead to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
Thank you. She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save for the sullen-looking grave that was laid in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they pass away? That is fucking weird. Also, with the fact that it's a small grave, I'm almost thinking that he was cremated, which raises even more questions. Everyone knew my grandfather's love of toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Well, someone's got daddy issues. I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about my father. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. Oh, whoops. Not gonna try and force that. You told me to stay strong, but right now I'm the farthest thing from it. Like that one time, a long time ago. Oh, flashback. Grandpa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
Oh, God damn it. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. It's been good voice acting for the most part up until right then. It was like the most obvious thing of someone trying to do an old man voice. It's like, fuck, this is a serious moment. Don't do that. I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather, the way he greeted me. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful, even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said he wasn't feeling too good again. It had always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, citing that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
Like, God. Yeah. So, what are we doing today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we should go.
Oh, I would love to. But I've been so busy with the company these days.
damn it.
We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Yeah, sure, I'd love to. Oh, is that a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them. But I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Of course. God, the music's getting loud all of a sudden. He placed the toy in my hands with a smile, and I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing, though.
So, what do you think?
I think the heart on its chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive, and it can be like a little nightlight before you before you sleep. Stroked his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle. Oh God. How old am I right now in this flashback? Because that was a weirdly corporate thing to say.
That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
God damn it. Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
I was meaning unconvincing in my role. Well, maybe making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not so sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
Okay? He bent down and looked at me at eye level. Eye level with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
Is this where the themes of abuse are gonna come in? I don't hate Daddy, I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though. Shit, that was...
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
I had heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter, but it was clear from whatever happened, that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard, though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already.
Thank you.
Well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you. Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me. We'll stand together to get through it.
How can you be so sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
He pointed his finger at my head first and then pointed at my chest.
So stay strong. Promise?
It'll be in my arteries. Got it. For a moment, he almost looked sad, pleading. But as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles once again. Promise. Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
All right then. Enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Okay. Homemade dessert. I'll race you to the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
Oh, God. Oh, that tasted terrible. Hope that didn't pick up on the mic, but probably did. You willed me the very home I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I would be ready to take it? Especially after this. A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. I'm sorry. It's hard to stay calm when you've left me with so many questions, especially about what happened between you and Dad. What am I doing? Talking to a grave. My vision blurred and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated up as tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring you some flowers later. I miss you, Grandpa. I'll try my best to fulfill my promise I gave you, even if the world might be turned against me. I left the grave, wiping my tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see.
Well, it's time to head back home. I'll cook up your favorite lasagna when we get home, okay?
I'm not gonna lie, I am honestly not a big fan of lasagna, and I don't know, it's just I'm just not a fan. It's weird. prefer shepherd's pie, honestly. Thanks, Mom. However, my dad didn't speak the entire drive home. And I wanted to talk to him, but after his moment at the funeral, I wasn't sure that that was a good idea.
It's about time we took off those dreary black clothes.
I'm still wearing my school uniform, you dick. Or school clothes. Not uniform. Shit. American. God damn it. Oh, God. Gathering my courage, I decided that it was time to talk. Dad, I ask you something.
Go ahead.
You don't have to be such a dick about it. Why do you want me to move into the estate so soon?
I thought I made that rather clear. The college near your grandfather's house is well known for its business program. You are planning to major in business, yes?
I never said anything of the sort.
Right after you graduate from high school, you'll just live there and can easily commute to and from school. It's a perfect fit for you.
What if I don't want to go into business, Dad? It's so sudden. You just decided so quickly right after the funeral.
Don't be so sensitive. If you're like that in the real world, you'll be crushed.
Fuck me for having emotions, I guess. Just saying, maybe we could talk a bit more about my future. With that, my father rubbed his temples and sighed quietly.
After you graduate from college, you'll work at Anderson Family Toys.
And what if I don't want to?
I have connections since I am part of the board of directors.
So it is
so
nepotism.
You will be guaranteed a spot. That is what we talked about before, yes?
Not if it involves nepotism, no. But what if...
Stop mumbling.
Fuck you. What if I don't want to work there?
Don't be silly. It's the family company. Our company. I'm not just going to hand it over to some incompetent vice chairman.
I'd rather the vice chairman take it than it be the result of nepotism. Came closer to me and his face softened.
Look, this is all for the best, okay? You may not know it right now, but you will appreciate it later.
Fuck you. For some reason, when I heard him say that, something snapped in me. But I wasn't exactly sure what it was. But it made me feel so angry. Do you even care that grandfather passed away?
Of course I do.
Are you sure? Well, everything seems just fine and dandy to you. Things couldn't be better.
Excuse me? I don't like your tone, young lady.
And I don't like yours. It's like nothing ever even happened at all. Like you just ignored the fact that he's no longer here.
Do not raise your voice at me.
Excuse me. What did he ever do to deserve this? My father, his face hardened, crossed his arms and erupted in angry laughter.
Ha! You sure place him upon a pedestal. Like he's some kind of venerated god or something.
Oh, God.
It makes me sick.
Dad, your daddy issues are clouding your judgment. Is that it? Are you happy seeing grandfather dead while everyone was grieving? You were holding yourself back from laughing in everyone's face? Did you feel just a bit happier seeing him lie in the graveyard? Ah, shit. Flash of rage crossed his face, and he whipped the back of his hand across my cheek. Fuck you.
You don't know anything! Running your mouth like somehow you know everything that went on, when you're just a little girl that doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut!
Fuck you.
You did not know my father. You did not know what he was capable of.
Doesn't give you the right to backhand me.
Is everything all right? What happened?
I got backhanded. Nothing. I'm not hungry. I think I'll go upstairs.
Honey, wait!
Have to nurse this face wound. Dick. Quickly turned and ran up the stairs to my room, slamming the door behind me. My breath came in short pants, and for a while I just leaned against the door to my bedroom, eventually sliding down to sit against it. How did things become like this? My cheek still throbbed, and I tentatively stood up and looked at the mirror to see how it looked. Hopefully it doesn't bruise. What am I saying? Tears formed in the corner of my eyes, but I almost said ears. What the fuck? Corner of my eyes, but I blinked them back rapidly. I couldn't cry for a second time today. Had to be stronger than that.
Are you all right? Your father told me nothing happened, but you know your father.
I'm pretty sure that doesn't excuse the backhand. Fine. I just lost my appetite.
The lasagna's done, though. And I don't want you skipping any meals. Are you sure?
Yeah, don't worry about me. Don't worry about me, Mom. I'll come downstairs later to eat.
You're not telling me the whole story.
I'm sorry, I can't right now. My face hurts. I just don't want to eat right now.
Please, dear. Tell me what's going on. I wish you would tell me why you're being like this.
I'm sorry, I just got backhanded. I'm not in the mood to talk. Wanted to tell her. Part of me was screaming to tell her what Dad had done. Same time, I knew she couldn't fix anything. Besides, I was moving out regardless. I remained silent, letting the event remain in the past.
Well, I'll leave your food on the table if you want to eat it later.
Finally, my mom left me alone. It was strange to think that she was only a few inches away from me, only separated by a single wooden door. I really didn't know what to do. I needed to do something, anything, to get my mind off what just happened. Anything would be better than thinking any more about the pain still radiating from my cheek. I was going to move into my grandfather's house tomorrow. I should probably pack my stuff so I would be prepared for tomorrow. Shit. Yeah, that was a good idea. I should start packing. I opened the closet, rummaging around for a while before I found 2 large bags, pulling them out into the floor of my room. Then I began to empty my drawers and cabinets so I could bring all my things with me. I didn't have much to bring other than just clothes and some toiletries. It was kind of bizarre that I didn't have many personal belongings. It wasn't like my luggage was completely devoid of them. But I certainly didn't have many things in my room that I would miss if I just suddenly left my house. I shook my head to get rid of those thoughts. If it were going to be my new home, it would have to feel like it. One way or another, I was going to make it a home. Jesus Christ! But just as I was packing my thing, my cell phone began ringing and vibrating in my pocket. Holy shit! I slid my phone out of my pocket and answered it while slowly easing myself onto the bed. Who could possibly be calling?
Hey, Anderson, you there?
Ah, shit, it's Zuzu.
Is everything alright?
And Naomi.
We were worried about you, so we decided to call.
Thank you. You can tell I'm high class. iPhone.
Hello?
I'm really glad you guys called. My voice managed to come out, though it was only a whisper.
What happened? Are you okay?
Oh, you know, domestic abuse. Well, slowly began to tell them about the funeral that afternoon. Small silence followed when I was done recounting what happened, and to my relief, Naomi finally spoke up.
I can't begin to imagine how you must be feeling right now.
In pain.
I'm so sorry. Do you want us to come over right now?
I don't think that's a good idea. No, it's okay. My dad isn't in a good mood, so we could just keep could we just keep talking on the phone like this?
Of course! We'd stay on the phone until the crack of dawn. Right, Zuzu?
Yeah. We're always here if you need us. After all, we wouldn't be the awesome triple threat trio without you, right?
Aw, it's corny, but I like it. Yeah.
Triple threat trio? That sounds like the name of a gang.
That's why I like it.
Yeah. I mean, we're all taking on the world together. We've got to sound somewhat scary, or else no one's going to take us seriously.
How many people has Suzu beaten up in dark alleys?
What's with you and naming things?
I like her style.
You've got to step up your game, Naomi. Falling behind to the cool kids like Anderson and me.
Hey! I'm a cool kid. If anything, I'd say you'd have to step up your game.
We chatted cheerfully about all sorts of things. Very soon I had forgotten about the events that day and was engaged in a conversation about Naomi's favorite TV show. Some program called Herlock. I hope it's not the BBC Sherlock, because that series was garbage. We all agreed that the actor playing the titular character clearly had certainly had a distinctive look about him, with that long overcoat and scarf wrapped around his neck. We had many disagreements about who we thought was the coolest character. Yeah, I'd say he has really high cheekbones, and his eyes are pretty. Though I would have to say I prefer Jotson. And as a bonus, his actor is just so sassy. I looked at the clock hanging on the wall and realized how late it was. Whoa, it's already 1 a.m.? Sorry for keeping you guys up so late. I think I'm gonna hit the hay for tonight. See you guys at school tomorrow. Should probably shower and go to bed. Can't believe I stayed up this late just to talk to my friends. But it was really nice. Well, to the bathroom I go. And with that, I think I'm going to end this episode because it has been another 25 minutes. Who knows how long it would have been if it weren't for my idiocy. But yeah, if you enjoyed the series, like, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit, and see you next time. Bye.